at people and I wonder all day, who are you and you are not the one in your way. And then I think about myself and I state, I'm a pretty boss with all my shit brain waste. I'm a freak in the sheets, but I got class. I'ma grab an ass if you want it. Best you ever had, give it to you fast. Ooh. Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight.
And welcome to Owlet Season 3.5. We have our last preseason match of our Minors Division. We have a very, very fiery fight for you. We're going to have Kraken Skulls versus the Fire Nation. It's going to be a really good battle. What do you think, Florida? Are you excited as I am for this?
I'm extremely excited, especially to cast this. I happen to know a little bit about Kraken Skulls. I've actually played them before in
Ooh.
GGNA, and they are actually a really, really good team. I'm just going to be also interested to see how Fire Nation responds. I do know Kraken Skulls last night did lose 3-1 to Hyperion. However, I do think it was a decently close series draw in there. So we'll just have to see. I'm not clear that much with Fire Nation, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to observe how they play and what they specifically play and what their style is.
All right. Sounds good. On our casting desk, we do have me, which I am K-Wing, and we do have Florida. And we also have our producer, Penguinator, working behind the scenes. Very appreciative of him. Thank you so much. And we are ready to get into our first map of Busan.
Indeed. Busan, really varied map. The mecha-based map is really more of like a brawl-centric. You'll see a lot more teams run the Reinhardt there. Then we have the other two. Actually, the other two also have two unique styles. Downtown really likes to run the dive comps. Winston Diva is really popular there, even though Double Barrier can work. And then the typical Arisa Sigma is really preferred around Sanctuary. So it's going to be interesting to see, because Busan's one of those maps, one of those rare maps where you can really see an extreme difference in styles, and we might be able to experience a lot of differencing approaches to the game, and I'm kind of excited to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. We get to see what sort of strategies each team is comfortable with, whether they're going to be dive teams, they're going to be bunker teams, they're going to be sort of brawl teams. There's so many different strategies that you can go in Overwatch, and I'm very interested to see what is going to come of this. So we're going to get in very, very soon.
Oh, indeed, after we ready up. All right. So, okay, here we go. We're starting to load in now. We'll have to see which map we're going to get presented here first.
We do have, I forget the map name. I think it's... That's Nepal. It's Shrine.
No, it's Sanctuary. It's Sanctuary. I'm a little bit slow on the loading there, so I couldn't help you out, but I believe you're talking about Sanctuary has a giant drum in the middle, I do believe.
That is Sanctuary, and we are on Sanctuary. So, coming in, we see the differing strategies that we were talking about. We see Ryan Winston on one side, although this is subject to change before the two teams leave their spawns. We have Ryan Winston on one side, and we have the double shield on the other.
Yep. Currently, my game is frozen for a minute here. Okay, I'm here. I'm in. I'm good. So yeah, interesting to see the Ryan Winston on one side. So that's going to be an interesting thing to witness if they actually roll out on this.
Absolutely. We do see.
It looks like they will be rolling out on Ryan Winston, and I'm interested to see how this plays out, because that typically is not a tank line that really synchronizes with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Winston, very divey tank, whereas Reinhardt, a very brawly tank. So we'll see how Kraken Skulls is going to try and make that sync up. We do have Ryan getting in on the brawl, and immediately Blue Boxes gets picked off so fast, but Craig does get picked off as well. Even trade, both DPSs go down, but Kraken Skulls does have point presence, going so aggressive with this Reinhardt, and this is the weakness of that double shield, is that it's not very good at really close range in that brawl, as much as Reinhardt is, and the Sigma going to go down, clean up on the point for Kraken Skulls.
Indeed, and it looked that was a complete steamroll. I'm having some small technical issues right now. But nevertheless, really good play, I think, from Kraken Skulls. They just kind of rolled them over. Maybe this differentiating style kind of caught the other team off guard, and we'll have to see where they go from here.
Absolutely, we're getting into this next fight. One ult on the side of Kraken Skulls. We do have the Coalescence, but very close to many other ults, and those are going to be some clutch ults to see when they come up in this fight, or if they come up in this fight. So we're going to see what happens. This Junkrat on the side of Kraken Skulls is trying so much long-range pressure with just those grenades. Oh, the Reinhardt charges to try and catch that Doomfist, doesn't end up catching him, but Agathon catches prey and just clean up again for Kraken Skulls. Just a quick fight win.
Yes, really quick fight, really nice execution there. They were able to basically isolate that Doomfist, force him to use all of his cooldowns, and then Agathon on that Kree was able to catch him, and then a beautiful shatter by Money Snaps, getting 5, I believe, and just absolutely destroying them. And though I will say the rally, I'm not 100% sure if that was necessary, but in the end, I don't know if that was much of a loss anyways.
No, rally, a good ultimate, but however, does not provide a lot of defense the way some other support ults do. We do have the amplification matrix come out, the high noon as well, coming out. Very high impact ults, don't seem to catch anything significant, but the Gravitic Flux comes out, holding people in place, and Kua does go down because of it, from that Hanzo. And Chrono finding Raiko, that support there, the main source of healing for Kraken Skulls, and they're just going to go down and just see if they can get 99, and they will, and it's going to be cleanup for Fire Nation. They're going to need a perfect hold here just to win this map.
Critical comp switch here. Shara pulled out the switch from the Doomfist onto the Hanzo. The Hanzo is just able to melt that Winston as he jumps in. Really good adaptation, but they did use a ton of ultimates there. But they will have Bobs and Dragons here, which is good. And the reason I was a little bit worried of Kraken Skulls using that rally was the Flux on the other side. Wasn't able to counter it.
But now, as we get into this, with Reinhardt being so aggressive, Money Snap just completely walking through the double shield, making them ineffective. But here comes the tire from Blue Boxers. This could be so high impact. The Dragon Strike coming in, catches Blue Boxers with the tire. The tire does find one, but it is a clean sweep for Kraken Skulls. Very good team fight win there.
It's actually really scrappy here, and it looks like Kraken Skulls will probably win this map. But really good execution. Really good execution there from Kraken Skulls, even though they were distracted a little bit by those dragons coming out from the Hanzo. And it actually got a couple of the team killed because half the team was focusing on the dragons while the rest were pushing in. So that's really what cost the Reinhardt. But it was a really good comeback, especially with the Brig, that was just able to brawl through the rest of the enemy team and help them to take over that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we get into Mecha Base, this next map of Busan, we see a little bit of a comp switch up from both sides here. Neither really going the brawl that we thought, but we see the sort of the same kind of comp on the side of Kraken Skulls, but we have a different comp on the side of Fire Nation.
Indeed, this is the Zarya Winston, which is actually kind of meta now. And Winston's not going to be playing like a dive Winston where he jumps into the back line. He's going to be playing a little bit more like a Reinhardt with a jump. So you'll see him probably jump onto the front line and just to build a little bit of space for his team.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
That's not really good for the Doofus there, but it is even.
Yeah, but Raiko being that source of healing for the team, just going down is such a crucial loss there. These supports are very, very important in Overwatch. One going down, especially the main support like the Moira, will just cripple a team.
Yeah,
They will
especially because
always make them
especially
right.
because the only heals there during that fight was the Brig. So them losing the Moira absolutely caused them to lose that fight. And now the fight, yeah, here we go. Kraken's re-engaging.
Absolutely, Kraken Skull's re-engaging with this Reinhardt, going so aggressive that Winston has to pop his Primal Rage just to stay alive. Hamwell, after that 1000 HP that Primal Rage grants, and is going to survive long enough to see a lot of picks coming in for the Fire Nation, and they are going to keep the point in their favor.
Indeed, that Winston, he was getting bullied by the Brig, by the Rhine, and I think it was either the Junkrat or the Moira there as well. And he had was forced to pop Primal Rage, which is the kind of the point. It gives him a second life, and then the DPS was just able to clean up on the side of Fire Nation.
Absolutely, this tire here could be big. Does catch Cray, and that is a big pick, a very big source of damage there. Blue Boxers finding a pick onto Shrew as well. The High Noon coming out does find Blue Boxers as well. Chrono finding a crucial pick, taking down that source of damage. But Kraken Skulls are going to find a lot of crucial picks. But Hamwell coming back with the Brig pick as well. He's going to dive in. He's going to keep fighting here, but it is not going to be enough. Doom going to come back in as well, but it's not going to get them any more. It's going to get them more percentage, which is very important though.
Yes, indeed. Fire Nation's at 71%. If they had gotten that to the critical 75%, they might have been even closer to closing this out in one team fight, but now there's going to be at least 2 or 3 team fights here to win this map.
Absolutely, but even with that amount of percentage uptick, if the amount of percent that they have, just one team fight win will get them, unless Kraken Skulls can just get such a good recontest, we'll probably get them the map here. Drew and Tifu both finding picks onto the Brigitte and the Junkrat respectively, and it is crucial picks there. The Brigitte, the Reinhardt goes down from Shrew as well. Chrono taking down tanks, and no tanks on the side of Kraken Skulls, and that is just cleanup for the Fire Nation again. One more fight.
The biggest thing I'm seeing here is Fire Nation has the ability to play as one single unit, whereas Kraken Skull's composition kind of relies on either the Junkrat or their Winston to either dive to the back line or put pressure on an off angle, and that just allows Fire Nation just to run them over.
Absolutely, with this Reinhardt here being just so aggressive, just pushing through choke like it's just nothing. But they need to touch the point here. It's getting to 93, and just these picks coming through. Blue Boxers finds a pick onto Tifu, but it is not going to be enough. Kua does jump onto the point to trigger overtime, but it's going to need to be a miracle stall out here even to get the point flipped back into Kraken Skull's favor. But Kua and Blue Boxers both find picks here. The Bob both finding picks onto supports here, and it's just a scrappy fight on the point to see who's going to take this point. And Chrono finding 2. One with the Bob, one with the primary fire. That is going to be very, very important. Kua is going to find a pick, and that's going to be no! Muddy Snap rolls off of the point on the wrecking ball. Just brutal from that, and the C9 Hamwell comments, and it was.
So the Kraken Skulls nearly won that round, the Primal plus the Bob really turned that fight around. However, Chrono, first off, getting 2 picks, and then the tanks over-focusing and trying to kill, I believe it was Tfue and the Moira, caused them to step off point just long enough for the percentage to go down, and now we're in a map 3, and this is going to be interesting.
Absolutely, map 3, very crucial. This is a winner takes all, and this specific part of Busan is a very Widowmaker-centric map. It has very long sightlines, and we do see Agathon on the Widowmaker there as well. And we have a lot of stuff happening. Agathon immediately getting dove by Hamwell, though. That's how you deal with the Widowmaker. Just dive on top of her.
Yeah.
500 HP monkey.
Yeah, Wisdom. Really good kill there by Shira and the Doomfist. But yeah, as soon as a monkey sees a Widow, it's like Predator and Prey right there. The monkey has to deal with that Widow, or else she can get a ton of value. Again, I'm liking how Fire Nation are playing this comp. Kind of like semi-dive, but also a lot more brawly, and that's able for them to match. Oh, but really good kill by Blue Bonkers onto Zarya.
Yeah, as well, Agathon getting the pick on a Hamwell as well. On that Sombra, very good pick there. Sombra's ability to hack is just incredible there. The Coalescence does come out a little late in the fight, though. I really would have thought that the fight was over, but they're going to prevent the Coalescence just to make sure that it's done.
I'm going to be interested to see... Oh, goodness, here comes the Bob. But I'm going to be interested to see if Hamill stays on this Winston, because now both DPS really counter him. The Reaper's able to just melt him, and if he gets hacked before he's able to jump out, he's in a lot of danger. But really good switches, really good adaptations there. Also, I like the switch onto the Moira just for, not the switch to the Moira, but I also like the Moira just so she can avoid that Winston if he dives in.
Nice shatter getting 4, I believe, and that is a quick fight. 4 Kraken skulls with that quick shatter, just deleting everyone.
Yeah, really good shatter there on the side by Kua. I will say, again, a little bit of a late rally when they had clearly won the fight. I don't know if that was necessary. However, there's not that many ults on Fire Nation that rally is necessary to prevent. But now we're on a semi-mirror comp from last time with a Winston Reinhardt. And here how Coalescence comes out.
Oh, Petticoat, very overextended, in a very dangerous position, going to go down for it. And, Mighty Snap's getting pinned, and that is just a quick and clean fight win for the Fire Nation, just cleaning up here.
Yeah, really good Coalescence engage there from Tfue and the rest of Fire Nation. And a really interesting swap. It makes this comp a lot more brawly, so they can brawl with the enemy team. However, I will point out there are 4 and approaching 5 ultimates on the side of Kraken Skulls, so this round might be getting close to over, depending on how many ults come out here.
Absolutely, Kraken Skulls. Because, the EMP, as well as the Death Blossom, finds 1. Kua finding 2 on this Reinhardt, swinging for the fences here. Just finding so many different picks here, and that is a cool win for Kraken Skulls.
Yeah, 6-man EMP, and that just was the end of the fight before it even began. Similar ult counts. I will say the Fire Nation does have the rally and does have shatter plus high noon, so this might be interesting. But oh, here we go. Flux comes out. It's done or hacked. I believe.
Flux comes out and he does get knocked out of it. Chrono finding Kua with the high noon. Oh, but the shatter finds 3. Here comes the tire from finding 2. Incredible job from Freya on the Junkrat, finding such good picks with the tire, and that is the Fire Nation getting that point back from overtime. Gonna be very interesting.
Really interesting. Even though the Flux got destroyed, the Flux got canceled, which was really important because it stopped from taking more chip damage, and a beautiful shatter as well from Shrew. And also, if you have ultimates, just use them, especially because that was final fight. I will point out that there's a Coalescence on the side of Fire Nation along with Primal. Oh, Reinhardt gets hacked, and here comes the rally.
Absolutely, Shrew going very, very low here. Going to go down 2 picks on the side of Kraken Skulls. They're looking to turn this back around. Kua getting 2 picks. And that is going to be, it's going to need a miracle for the Fire Nation to pull this back. The Winston on the point trying to make it happen, but he's just shredded instantly. So much damage coming into him. That 1,000 HP just goes down so fast. And that is going to be the map for
really,
Kraken Skulls. Very close.
Really nicely played by Kraken Skulls. They were able to time their ultimates as well pretty well. Even though they lost the fight, they didn't invest that much into it, and they were able to just pop in with Rally, and then were able to pop a lot of their ultimates and just win the overall team fight. So really nicely played by Kraken Skulls. It was pretty close though, I will say. But as soon as they forced the Fire Nation onto the comp that matches their style, they were able to take that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that fight, that map was very close, so I am very excited to see what is going to come next from Fire Nation. They're going to have the next pick as well. So very, very interesting to see what they're going to do and how they're going to try and bring it back.
Yep, and we'll have to see that after a short break.
All right, we are going to take a short break. We'll see you then. And we are back. We just had to take a little break for some, just trying to get everything straightened out. And we are back. So with our next map, which is going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar. Now, Watchpoint Gibraltar, very dive-heavy map. A lot of compositions that you can do, but dive very prevalent throughout Watchpoint Gibraltar. So
Yeah, and
what are we thinking there?
really interesting. So a big thing I've noticed so far in this series is the use of Winston. There's been a lot of Winston play, which is really interesting. But the thing is, Kraken Skulls likes to use Winston as an off tank, while Fire Nation's actually using Winston as a main tank. So we'll have to see the kind of styles. And this is definitely a really strong Winston map. And I do believe that this was a Fire Nation pick. And Hamwell I do know it does prefer that Winston a little bit. So it is really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see. I do think Dive is definitely the call here. The Genji. I do think Sombra and or Tracer might be played. And we're just going to have to see what kind of support lines and how they're going to play it, whether they're going to do dive defense or double barrier defense. Because dive is really popular on the attack, but not so much on the defense, depending on the skill range. And considering we're in a little bit of a lower skill range, we might see that double barrier come out. And also Torbjorn probably come out, because Torb has actually been getting a lot of play recently as a little bit of a dive counter. So we'll have to see what happens here.
Yeah, absolutely. Torbjorn is such a dive counter. He has the turret to counter a lot of different abilities as well. Of those dive heroes, the Winston jump, the Genji as well, just these trademark dive heroes.
Yeah, especially considering Genji's recent power buffs, and well, he's kind of gone back to being semi-meta while being also powerful. However, looking at Kraken Skulls, who is going to be on the defense here, it is looking like a possible double barrier with a Widow, but we'll have to see, obviously, because they're still sitting in spawn.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see what sort of choices our two teams are going to make. Kraken Skulls on the defense here. They're going to have the double shield, the Widowmaker Junkrat, but we have yet to see what they're going to do with their support line. They have the Ana Moira, so a lot of support, a lot of sustain, pardon me, and a lot of healing that are going to come out from their support line. Meanwhile, on the side of Fire Nation, we have a pretty dive-ish comp with the Winston and the Wrecking Ball, as well as Pharah and Ashe.
Yeah, I like the Ana pick here with the Moira. Moira can avoid the dive. Ana can anti and sleep whoever jumps in. And Junkrat's also a really good anti-dive character. Just mines, gets away. But interesting choice on the Pharah here. You don't actually see Pharah too often on the attack on Gibraltar. But, oh, really nice pick off by whatever, the Pharah of Fire Nation.
Yeah, Kreia, the Pharah. In the lower ranks, Pharah is a very, very hard pick to counter, which is very, very much to the Fire Nation's benefit here, as they have Kreia and Tifu on the Pharah Mercy combo, which is just such a hard combination to defend against in these lower ranks. And as you can see, finding 3 picks in this team fight, Kua finding Hamo, but it is not going to matter. This team fight, another for Kreia, another for Kreia. Just so many. Kreia wiping out the team.
I'm actually really liking this dive style, especially because we're playing the Monkey Ball dive tanks. And if you notice, as soon as they spotted out the Widow, both tanks went flying after her, just through a limiter, and as soon as that Widow's gone, the Pharah has free reign. Just to rain in as much damage as humanly possible. The amount of spam damage coming in from Ashe and Pharah is insane.
Absolutely. Mayhem does get hacked, though, and is going to go down to Agathon. Very good play by that Sombra there, but Kreia is just there to drop the Sombra. No hacks are going to be coming in on the side of Kraken Skulls for a little bit now, and Kua just finds 2 with that Orisa, with that primary fire. Very good on their part, and Fire Nation's going to have to retreat here.
Yeah, really good adaptation from Kraken Skulls. That's also, they seem to be really flexible in their ability to change. Good switch onto the Sombra, and also I like the Soldier, just to put a little bit of additional pressure onto the Pharah, and a little bit more consistent pressure than that of a Widowmaker. But however, Pharah's coming up with that barrage as well this fight, and all they have is coalescence.
Absolutely no defensive ultimates and nothing to protect them from the barrage. Finds 3. Kreia does give their life for it, but they get immediately res, and that is the power of the Pharah Mercy combo. You kill the Pharah, or so you thought, but it's not going to be enough unless you get that Mercy and deny that resurrect.
Indeed.
It's so powerful.
Also, another adaptation on the side of Fire Nation. They went Zarya to better protect the Winston, so when the Winston goes jumping in, Zarya just bubbles. I do think that Pharah also got bubbled during the barrage, so she was able to live through a lot of the spam damage, and just really nice play and really good adaptation by both teams.
Absolutely, and I really want to point out the amount of work that Hamo just did protecting that top left doorway from the members of Kraken Skulls, letting the payload push so close to the door, and it is going to be that point B for the Fire Nation here. 1 more point to go for them.
Yep. Really good pressure by Hamel's been playing really well, and I think that's why the Zarya choice is really good. It allows Hamel to play a lot more aggressive and also be a lot more safe within that aggression because of the Zarya. And however, Kraken Skulls is coming up on 5 ultimates, so we'll see what happens here.
I'm really interested in the EMP. Here it comes, catches 4, and the tactical visor is going to come out, and there picks up plenty for Kraken Skulls. They will stabilize.
Yep, and after this, Pharah goes down. There it goes. But Kreia is like building barrage really quickly, but 3 ultimates really fast. All of that Kraken Skulls has right now is a Flux and a Cole. And I guess you can Flux the Zarya and maybe the Ana, but who else are you going to really Flux here on this point? And that Rein is kind of just exposed, I think. I'm not 100% sure if the Rein's the best play here, because he can only hold a shield in one direction, and they're attacking from so many damage angles. Oh god, here comes the
Absolutely,
barrage!
just as you say it, catches 3. Kreia attacking right from behind, catches 4. Kreia just dominating on this Pharah, saying this is my house, and you will not fight me in my house.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful barrage there from Kraken. Comes over the top and barrages them. Then we have a scrappy fight here. Here comes the Flux. We'll catch
Flux
it
is
finally.
going to come in. Tifu, both supports go down on the side of the Fire Nation. That is the picks that you want to have if you are Kraken Skulls. You just need to throw bodies at this, and you will probably get the damage, but is it going to be enough for them? The contest is going to come in. The Brigitte and the Tracer both on the card now. And only a few members of the Fire Nation are going to be on the card. It's going to be a very, very scrappy fight here, but the closer spawns of Kraken Skulls are going to give them the advantage here, and they're going to get the fight win off of it. The Ashe and the Mercy combo are going to have to run away from the Kraken Skulls, and they're going to just barely stabilize by the tip of their teeth.
Beautiful stall timings, I think, coming out from Kraken Skulls. They didn't have all 6 on the point at once, so they didn't lose like 4 or 5 immediately as soon as they came out of spawn. Also, really beautiful play by the Sigma was also able to chip down a lot of them, and it was a beautiful idea for the Tracer to just blink around, stall out so the Brig could come back. And really save that fight, and really nice rebound there from Kraken Skulls. But however, they did have to use a little bit of ultimates, and Fire Nation coming in with a couple of ults, including another barrage.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. And that Pharah is just right behind them, finds the pick on Nakua early, and the barrage is charged. So many ultimates on the side of the Fire Nation, and so few on the side of Kraken Skulls. It's going to be a very, very tough job for them to come through this. The Tracer goes down, the Bob's going to come out. There is the tactical visor. Blue Boxers finds 2. The barrage is going to come in. It'll find 2, but Blue Boxers has 3 with his tactical visor, and those picks are crucial with the closer spawns that I've already mentioned from Kraken Skulls. The picks that come in on their side are much more impactful than the picks that come in on the side of the Fire Nation, because you can get 10 picks on the offense here, but if you get 3-4 picks on the defense, you will win this fight.
Really scrappy fight. The Bob last time actually kind of turned it around. It's going back and forth actually between Kraken Skulls and Fire Nation. Oh my god, it is still going back and forth.
It just seems like every time Kraken Skulls gets a pick, the Fire Nation answers with one, and that actually just ends right now.
Yeah, I think the spawn advantages there just came in a lot more clutch for Kraken Skulls. They were able to get a bunch of more people onto the cart, considering they went a lot quicker heroes like the Wrecking Ball and like the Tracer, and then also what also helped was Petticoat Pirate. She had the Rowley on deck and was able to save her. But actually, there isn't that many ultimates on the board right now, so it's kind of a neutral fight.
Yeah, absolutely, but there is an advantage on the side of the Fire Nation. As I said, that Hamel with his ultimate is going to catch Blue Boxers, and Chrono catches Agathon as well. And there is the Diva Bomb coming in from Kua. It's going to catch the Pharah Mercy combo. That is clutch from Kua. That bomb gonna get 3 total from Kua. See if Kua can get any more, and that looks like it will be it for the Fire Nation. I don't know if they're even gonna get overtime. They will not. That is round 1.
The biggest thing I saw there, Kraken Skulls was able to use their spawn advantage really well, and also were able to rotate who was on cart, and also they were getting some really clutch kills, really clutch ultimates. The Rally, the fight before, and then that Diva Bomb just kind of opened it up. Even though they had lost the Soldier was able to get back relatively quickly to the team fight, which I think really helped them to win overall. And honestly, though, both teams are playing really tight. Kreia on Fire Nation right now is my current standout player for them. That Pharah has just been a menace to Kraken Skulls, and they haven't really been able to shut her down until they got to like the 3rd point of the map. So it has been a lot of the Kreia show. We'll have to see what Kraken Skulls runs out here on the offense.
Yeah, we do see the Bastion for Kraken Skulls, which may be just a meme pick because they are the attackers here, and they do have the option to switch at any time should they choose. But for the more permanent picks, we do see the defenders going out on this Wrecking Ball, Winston dive sort of comp, very similar to what they had before with Pharmacy, Kreia, just doing
I do
so
feel like
well.
Hamwell is extremely comfortable on the Winston, and they kind of want to build the comps around that. I will say that Bastion attack can work. I know a comp that runs Bastion Pharmacy. But anyways, we'll have to see what happens here as the car starts moving, and beautiful pick off by Agathon. Shuts down Kreia right away, which is not something they've been able to do last round.
Absolutely, but immediately the resurrection comes in, and Agathon is going to get taken down by the Moira Orb. That damage orb is going to come in and finish that Widowmaker off, and Agathon is going to switch to the Sombra to try and get some early picks. And we have a very interesting sort of fight here. Blue Box finds Hamwell with that Bastion just shooting so much damage into the tanks there. Finds 3 as well. Blue Boxers doing very, very well on this Bastion.
Yeah, I will say there's a pros and cons here to running Dive into this. The problem is, Dive, even though you're attacking from multiple angles, which is Bastion's weakness, Bastion just has so much damage that if you peek around a corner, you're probably going to die. That's kind of what happened there. And also Agathon coming back on the Summer really, really quickly just to help her team not help his team not fall behind in that last team fight. But here we go. Now they're at this pirate ship setup. It's going to be hard for Fire Nation to break this.
Absolutely. Hamwell does get hacked in the backline there and just falls with so much damage coming in. Blue Boxers takes down that Immortality field, but Kreia and the Moira are both going to find picks onto the members of Kraken Souls, and it's just going to be a very quick and pretty clean fight for Fire Nation, and Kreia getting multiple picks on that Vara, showing that he is not to be messed with, even on the defense.
Yeah, even though Hamwell gets hacked and dies really early on into that fight, there's an adaptation from Fire Nation which I really like, which is the Hanzo. And considering that they're not running a really dive comp, Hanzo was just able to melt through did a lot of damage to barriers, and allowed the rest of the team just to rain damage into the Bastion. And now we're going to have a little bit more of a Ryan Diva brawl comp here.
Oh yeah, we're not going to have a lot of a brawl here. We have the barrage coming in from Kreia, and that's just both supports going down instantly, and that is a clean fight.
Yeah, at this point right now where the card is at is a really strong defender's defense, considering the amount of spam damage that can just go through each of these small and tight-knit doorways. Considering the ultimates that will build up, and considering the Pharah and the Hanzo, they can just shut down these doorways, and this does not look good for Kraken Souls.
Absolutely, they're going to try and go through 2 of the doorways, so they can't exactly go through all of them. The AMB is going to come in, get 4. The Dragon Tech is going to get 2, though. He's going to get 1, but then it's the pick onto the Baptiste. Chrono getting 3 in this fight, going to turn this fight around on the Hanzo here. 1 with the normal arrows, 1 with the storm arrows, and 1 with the dragon arrows.
Yeah, indeed. I was mentioning how Chrono can just do so much damage into these doorways, and considering that the only shielding right now is that Reinhardt, and considering that that everyone can attack from different angles, that EMP, even though it came out, it got 4. However, because everyone was so split, the Brawl Comp can't really aggress onto any of those 4 targets because they were so spread out. So really good play here for
the bomb to find the Moira. That's very, very big. That Moira is such a source of healing with just how much she can pump out. True does find the pick off on Mighty Snaps with the mines, but there's so many picks coming in for Kraken Skulls, and their spawns are a bit closer than the spawns of the Fire Nation. So Agathon, with those 3 picks on the Mercury, is going to help his team take this card.
Oh my goodness, really good play there by Agathon, kind of turning that fight around. It was looking pretty good, but it was looking pretty good for Fire Nation. They had 4 ultimates, but they used all 4 and got no value out of them, while Kraken Souls was able to win in the neutral fight. As the cart moves towards point B.
Comes in, tries to get the flank charge, but is immediately countercharged and taken down. That is unfortunate for him. Didn't have the time to get onto the high ground there, and that is going to be a major disadvantage for the Fire Nation coming in. Kreia also going down. Blue Boxers finding 2, 3 picks on the Soldier 76, and that is point B for Kraken Skulls, they know where they need to go to win this map.
Yeah, and they are going to have a lot of ultimates to do it. They have almost 6 ultimates, and they'll probably be able to build them up here. Also, really good stopping by Petticoat Pirate. Stopping that charge from just going through the middle of their team, and just completely melting the Reinhardt. Again, they're playing Reinhardt Winston, which is not the best synergy, I think, especially for this point of the map. And not a lot of high ground for Winston to take advantage.
Yeah. Oh, this is just an ult fiesta here. So much is happening. Agathon finding Shrew with the high noon chrono, finding blue boxers. He does throw out his ult, but he doesn't find anything with it specifically. And a lot of picks coming in on the side of Kraken Skulls. The Fire Nation going to have to retreat, but they're going to get shattered on their way back. The Reinhardt is going to try and come out, but it's too late to protect his supports, and he will get melted. And just 0.09 meters left to go for this card. Kraken's Fire Nation is going to have to just stay on this card unless they want it to go, and they're going to have to step off here. And Kraken Skull is going to take their second map.
Yeah, the biggest thing I think there was a compositional weakness on the side of Fire Nation. They were stuck on not just the wins. Oh, but Kreia, of course, gets play of the game because Kreia was playing insanely, but Kreia was on the Pharah without a pharmacy on that defense, even though we watched him get that beautiful barrage early in the fight. But Kreia was stuck on Pharah without a Mercy, but they were trying to switch to a Brawl comp, but they stuck with the Pharah and the Winston, which really did not synergize with the rest of their Brawl comp, and it allowed the rest of the enemy team to kind of just run them over. And also, it didn't help that the Kraken Skulls had built up 6 ultimates at the same exact time. So I don't know if there was that much chance there for the Fire Nation. However, really good play by Kraken Skulls. Good adaptations throughout the map. What I like a lot from Kraken Skulls is they're willing to switch a lot of their heroes if it is not working. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In Overwatch, flexibility and being able to change heroes on a dime is so important and so just completely necessary to counter whatever is going on the enemy team. So when we get back from halftime, we are going to see if the Fire Nation will be able to bring it back from the brink here, going down 0-2 here against Kraken Skulls, or if Kraken Skulls will be able to finish the shutout here. We'll see you then.
I look at people and I wonder all day, who are you and you are not the one in your way. And then I think about myself and I stay. I'm a pretty boss with almost your brain waves. I'm a freak in the sheets, but I got class. I'ma grab an ass if you want it. Best you ever had, give it to you. Talk about quiet with a big mouth. Listen for the doubt, then call it. Make you out for what you say to me. Look at every single date. If you got what I need, then I'll take you on like a big deal. Legs you can unseal, key in ignition. Just keep me full like I had a meal once in a while. Feel alright. I know you like it, can't fight it. I might let you ride the wave. I'm New York and you're LA. Come together, feel the shock waves. look at people and I wonder all day, who are you and you are not the one in your way? And then I think about myself and I stay. I'm a pretty boss with almost your brain waves. I'm a freak in the sheets, but I got class. I'ma grab an ass if you want it. Best you ever had, give it to you bad. Ooh. Talk about quiet with a big mouth. Listen for the doubt, then call it. Make you out for what you say to me. Look at every single date. If you got what I need, then oh, I'll take you on like a big deal. Legs you can unseal, key in ignition. Just keep me full like I had a meal once in a while. Feel alright. I know you like it, can't fight it. I might let you ride the wave. New York and your LA come together, feel the shock waves.
And we are back with Kraken Skulls and the Fire Nation in Owlet Season 3.5, the preseason, our last Miners preseason game. And we have some pretty interesting changes coming in from the Fire Nation, looking to come back down 2-0 here. We had a bit of role changes. So why don't you tell us about that, Florida?
Okay, so for the biggest thing to point out is the next map coming up is KR. King's Row, or as many of the locals call it, Scrims Row, because this is an extremely popular map. But the big thing is this map is a hard or heavy brawl favored map, and because of that, Reinhardt gets played a lot, and we've not recently found out, but looking at it, apparently Hamwell isn't, I don't believe, as strong of a Reinhardt player, or it doesn't really even play Reinhardt. So apparently. So they're going to be making some swaps, but not swaps, but role swaps in general. So Krea's Mayhem, Mayhem, I believe that's short for Mayhem, is going to tank. Krea is going to support, and True is going to DPS. So that is 3 rotations. So what this signals to me is that True is a better DPS than he is support, or else they would have just switched Mayhem and True. So what they've done is put Krea, who must be flexible enough to play that support, put True on DPS, then Mayhem probably to play that Reinhardt. Probably to play that Reinhardt here on King's Row.
Yeah, absolutely. Mim on the side of Fire Nation is just has done very well on the support, but it's interesting to see him sort of flip around to the tank role. Just a lot of role switches, something you don't usually see. Usually people are specialized in one role specifically, like main tank, off tank, projectile DPS, hit scan, or whatever. But seeing a role change is very, very interesting. And I'm interested to see what becomes of it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Mayhem can pick up. I think it's going to be the Reinhardt because I don't believe Hamwell can play Reinhardt. That's what it says, at least on his player card. He says he's a Winston/Orisa specialist.
Mhm.
So we'll have to see. And it is nice that that the Fire Nation has a plan in place. If they have to play on King's Row, which is so Reinhardt favored, especially because this is the Ryan Zaria's playhouse. This is like one map that still, for all these years, still can play Reinhardt Zarya on, and like not be at a disadvantage. So this is gonna be really interesting to see. And we're currently waiting. It seems like a coach coming to the VC, but we'll have to see how this plays. Overall, this series has been actually decently close. I know it is 2-0, but I do think both teams have been playing it extremely tight.
Yeah, honestly, I do hope that the Fire Nation is able to get a score on the board, because I really don't want it to be 3-0, because when you look at a 3-0, you just think that Kraken Skulls must have just completely and absolutely trounced the Fire Nation, and that's not really true from what we've seen. Kraken Skulls have done a little better than the Fire Nation, but it hasn't actually been just a complete stomping one way or the other.
Yeah, both teams have been playing this really, really tight. I will say Busan might have been a little bit towards Kraken Skulls if they hadn't C9 there in that middle point, but I do think Gibraltar was actually really decently close. It was kind of a steamroll after they got past that point B holdup by Kraken Skulls, but I do think Fire Nation has been playing really, really well. Kreia was really popping off on that map, especially as the Pharah on attack. And I will say Kraken Skulls, even though I do think Agathon is semi their most flexible player and kind of one of their most standout players. I will say they are playing a lot more like really tight knit as a team. I feel there isn't really too much standout players, but there's also not really any real weaknesses I'm seeing in their team. Or they're just all 6 really solid players, and it's been a pleasure to watch them play.
Absolutely, yeah. All of these players have been very, very good on both sides, and it's it's been really interesting to watch them play, and I'm excited to see going into King's Row as soon as we are, as soon as we get into this map. We have a little bit of discussion between the teams and their coaches, just trying to get sort of the strategies in order. And we are now loading into King's Row. Interested to see what strategies these teams are going to pull out.
So Brawl is favored, especially on the attack, but I have seen some double shield defense as of late, and I hope Mayhem pulls out this Roadhog. I really hope so. He is currently showing it inside spawn, but I highly doubt that they are actually going to run it. But it looks like on the defense, wait, Kraken Skulls might be pulling out a double barrier Ryan Sigma instead of the Ryan Zar. So we'll have to see what happens here. Yeah, it looks like they're going to running the Ryan Zarya, Ash May, Brig Moira. Brig Moira has actually been basically the support line for like the entirety of the map on Busan. So I think it's not comfort picks, it's just a lot of sustain, especially in the defense. But also there's an added bit of poke to this composition, especially with that Sigma. And the Sigma does provide a secondary barrier to a poke attack if that occurs. So maybe that's what they're going for instead of the Zarya. But please roll this Roadhog. It would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Nim, someone who is usually an off support, play the Roadhog is very interesting. We see Shrew on the Widowmaker looking for some early picks here. But we also have the May on the side of Kraken Skulls looking to maybe wall off the choke. Oh, Agathon gets taken down by Shrew. That is a crucial first pick. Nice shot by Shrew. And we're going to see if the Fire Nation can push on their advantage. And as I say that, Shrew gets another pick on a Petticoat Pirate. and she does go down there. Blue Boxers does pick on a Hamwell though, but Mim onto Kua, and it's a scrappy fight on the point here, but these closer spawns for the Fire Nation might allow them to win here. Shrew finding another pick onto Reiko, and that is just so good from Mim and Shrew. Shrew getting, I think, something like 4 or 5 picks this fight, but Agathon does shut Shrew down, but that is going to be the point for the Fire Nation.
Really good play. Shrew kind of opened that up, to be honest. But also, Mayhem's Roadhog has been really putting a lot of pressure onto these berries. Oh, a deep charge by Hamwell on the Reinhardt. But Shrew, coming off that take onto the Widowmaker, has really been popping off. So this double sniper is really working well for them. And yeah, actually, I'm liking this composition. It's looking like they're playing what they're comfortable with instead of just trying to play something on the meta. And it's actually interesting to see Hamwell has not been playing too bad on this Reinhardt.
Yeah, absolutely. These money snaps coming in with the Viridic Flux is going to find Tfue as well, and that there's a lot of picks coming in here on the side of Kraken Skulls, but the Fire Nation have just such a close spawn to where the card is right now that they can kind of just trickle in, and they will potentially be able to take this fight 4v6, and knowing that Kraken Skulls are going to retreat a little bit.
Yeah. Spawn advantage for Fire Nation. Also, both sites come out. We have a Widow Duel on King Crow. Something I never say. Oh, beautiful dragon!
Finding 2 with the dragon.
Yep. And also, I was gonna say they had 5 ultimates coming into that fight, and they just popped 4 of them to win. They still have the Shatter and the Rally, while Kraken Skulls only has the Shatter and Coalescence close to that Rally. But it's actually really, really close, and I really like this idea. I really like Shrew's play right now. He has been killing the entirety of Kraken Skulls with this Widowmaker and winning this Widow Duel. So it's just been beautiful to see.
Absolutely. We're told as a caster not to shame anyone on the team, but I do want to point out that Chrono did interrupt the duel between Agathon and Shrew, so shame on you, Chrono, for interrupting that duel. Chrono does find a pick off onto Agathon before Agathon, after Agathon finds 2 picks onto some members of the Fire Nation here. You have the Shatter comes in, finds 3. That's crucial. Both tanks go down, but the Baptiste is there to throw the Immortality Field at him. While not inside of it, though, will go down to Blue Boxers. She's doing really well on the Ashe there, Blue Boxers. Mim finding the kind of Petticoat Pirate. It does look like Kraken Skulls is going to go back a little, so it's going to be you're going to have to see who's going to go back. We have Shrew really far in the back line, does not find any picks, but putting a lot of pressure onto Kraken Skulls there. The Immortality Field comes out, is destroyed. Agathon finds the pick onto Shrew. Very, very nice. The Winston coming out on the right here. Jumps in and has to go out. The Shatter comes in, finds 4. The Coalescence comes in to try and heal them all up. And the Rally also to get some armor up for the recontest here. The Shatter comes in, does very well, but it is not enough to find any significant picks. Good job kiting that out by Kraken Skulls.
Yeah, really good disengage there to avoid a lot of the ultimates. But I will be saying, Mim's Roadhog is really making a difference. The reason they were able to win that fight around the first corner was because of his sustainability and able to just live through. And also we had a break on him. Oh, but Winston is on top of Widowmaker, but the
peel is there, and Shrew will find the pickup onto Kua. That is crucial. The peel there for that Widowmaker was very, very important, so that the Widowmaker is still going to be there to provide an insane amount of damage, and just the pressure that she applies on those sightlines that she does just by existing and being that threat of just instantly deleting your supports or your DPS from the video game. It's just brutal.
Yeah, it is. Oh, but it's really going back and forth right now. Even though Kraken Skulls has stabilized due to closer spawns, I will say Mim's Roadhog has kind of been on point. He's been nailing non-halted hooks, which is kind of rare at this elo. And and their kill off went really deep from Primal Rage.
Primal Range does give you that 1000 HP, but as I said repeatedly over and over, it does not make you immortal. Agathon finding the pickup onto Tfue. That's crucial there. The Moira is such a great source of healing that I've been saying for what feels like this entire match. has gone down, and that is no heals for you there. If your Moira goes down, Tifu does have to come back. Raiko does go down, and there are a lot of picks coming in here for the Fire Nation. Agathon finds a pick up onto Chrono though. That is a significant source of damage that goes down there. And really with these close response, all you need is a few picks. Agathon finding another. Both DPS on the side of the Fire Nation go down. Picks coming in on the side of the Fire Nation. They're going to find a lot of picks onto Agathon, onto Patika Pirate. But with just how close the spawns are, I don't know if it'll even matter. The Shatter comes in, finds Blue Boxers. Just killed immediately with the Shatter. The charge from Hamwell doesn't seem to find anything, but Money Snap charges Kreia on the Brigitte. Kua finding to pick up on the Mim. And Shrew on the Rico though, but Hamwell finds the charge onto Mighty Snap, and that could be what is needed to turn this around. A bunch of different picks. And on the side of the Fire Nation, it seems like a good, perfect scenario there, and they're going to finish with 1:30 in a pretty convincing but a very scrappy fight there. 1:30, that's just what they need.
Man, that was just kind of back and forth there. I will say, I do think that the consistent kills coming out from Fire Nation, even though they were losing people, they were still trading a lot of the time. And even though they had close respawn, they would take 2 down with them, basically. And actually, I believe it was Muddy Snap, no, it was Kua, I believe, on the Wrecking Ball, that was able to kind of spin the win and kind of, like, held them off for a while there. But I'm really intrigued by how these compositions. Remember how I was talking, like, this was mainly a brawl map? These guys have been running, there was double sniper, attack with a Roadhog. This has been really interesting to see. I think it's Mayhem, Mim, not Mayhem. But Mim's Roadhog was actually making a difference in a lot of those team fights, able to land clutch hooks and get a clutch pickoff and pickoffs. Also, Shrew's Widow has been really opening up these fights, and also his Genji was really strong there near the end. So we'll have to see how this goes. And it looks like they're going to run double shield, Genji, Brig, Bap, and Ashe. So a little bit more standard from them. There's no Roadhog in sight. And meanwhile, on the other side, Kraken Skulls look like they're finally going to run out that Ryan Zarya that I was expecting for the entirety of the map. But it's really interesting. This is the first time I've seen the Zarya all game.
Absolutely, we do see the Genji. We did talk about Genji very temporarily getting some buffs, but is now nerfed, and we are playing on that post-nerf Genji patch. We're not the Overwatch League, so we're not playing on the pre-nerf Genji patch. So he is not as powerful, but he is still able to take those duels, as Shu shows by taking down Agathon in the backline there, taking down that sniper, taking down that very scary hero that Hanzo is, with just how much damage he's able to pump in and how much potential burst he has, and a clean fight win for the Fire Nation here off of the back of Shrew's early pick on that Hanzo.
Yeah, Shrew has been really consistent here on the DPS. Remember, he was, I believe he was the off tank until they switched him and Mim, and also I believe it was Kreia onto that Brig. And man, they have been playing really well, the Fire Nation, especially on this map. Maybe this is why they picked it. It's a comfort map for them. Another switch to the off tank Winston as Winston dives into the back line.
Absolutely, and we do see this fight is going to come in. Hamwell going around, but he's going to get turned back around on the Shatter. Does come in, finds 2, but he's going to immediately get taken out. Hamwell in a very long flank there. I'm not sure if that really worked out there. And oh, the stun coming in from the McCree there. Agathon finding a clutch stun to cancel out. That was not Agathon, that was probably Rhea then. Finding the pick onto the Stigma.
Agathon did stun. I do believe Agathon did stun Mim out of his flux because Mim floated too close and got flashbang. Oh, but cut off. Oh no, the Shrew got cut off by the Mei wall there.
Absolutely, Mei is just such a dangerous hero with that wall, able to cut off different people there, and is able to get just isolate them and get so many picks. Kreia finding 2 pigs on the Brigitte, able to just pop off regardless of roles here. And it's almost as if the Fire Nation heard us casting and complimenting the Kraken Skulls on their ability to be flexible and said, oh, the Kraken Skulls are flexible? Let's flex to different roles then.
Yeah, these role swaps have been really popping. Oh, nice shot by Chrono on the Agathon. to finish that off. But really good play by the Fire Nation. I think these switches have really made a good impact. Even though Kraken Souls is coming with 4 ultimates, Fire Nation's bought a lot of time off the clock. Considering that they captured it on their first attack, this is a really good stop. Oh, out comes the Blizzard.
Absolutely, the Blizzard is such a good ultimate, and the High Noon is going to stop them. Oh, but it gets stunned out of the High Noon. The Shatter comes in, finds 2, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. The Blade is going to come in from Shrew. We'll find Petticoat Pirate, but it's not going to be enough unless some amazing clutch comes in from the remaining members of the Fire Nation, and it doesn't look like it will there. Chrono goes down, and that is going to be the last person who can really contest the point A for the Fire Nation. They're going to have to defend point B, the Streets phase, but only 3 minutes on the side of Kraken Skulls. A good amount of time considering how long the Fire Nation held them off on point A.
Yeah, really interesting amount of ult commitment there on the side of Fire Nation, but also I like how they're using this Mei. The Mei has really been shutting down a lot of the Genji. And because of that, Fire Nation has gone double Cowboy here with a McCree Ashe. I think I actually like this. Oh, but the Winston's caught in the backline, and Hamill gets a pin out on the blue boxes.
Absolutely, very lucky on the side of Kua, able to get out, but it doesn't look like the rest of his team is going to be that lucky, and he does get taken down by the McCree there. Shrew getting a couple of picks, Kreia getting 2 of his own.
Yeah, I am noticing the problem with Kraken Skulls right now is this Winston, I think. It's causing... It is true, it allows them to come to different angles, but they're forced to brawl in a 5v6 a lot of the time. And it is really causing the Fire Nation to really being able to overpower, even if Kraken Skulls gets 1 or 2 kills. So I want to see how they change this playstyle, and Koa on another lane in the backline, but good Shatter comes out from Money Snap.
4, that is incredibly clutch, and that is going to be a clean team fight for Kraken Skulls there, and that is a team kill for them.
Yeah, really good fight, really good Shatter there. I actually liked how Kua played that. He jumped to the back line, forced all of them to turn around, and just as that happened, Money stepped through and shattered. That was a beautiful play there from Kraken Skulls. Just as I was kind of bad-mouthing their Winston play, that was actually a nice use of the Winston there. However, there was a decent amount of ultimates coming out. High Noon comes out.
High Noon comes out, but he immediately gets deleted. That Fire Strike going through the Amplification Matrix does 200 HP. The Shatter comes in, finds Money Snaps, and he's going to go down for it, but Blue Box is finds pick on the Hamwell, and so many picks coming in. This is going to be a very, very close fight. Petticoat Pirate finding 2. She's doing amazing on this Ana. What incredible Petticoat Pirate finding 3 on the Ana turns that fight around. Incredible.
Kua just completely distracted the back line of the Fire Nation, allowing the front line and everyone else on Kraken Skulls just to run over the remaining 4 members. That was beautiful play by Kua, also popping a Primal just to survive, and also Petticoat Pirate. Beautiful 3 kills on all the lowered and weakened targets. Nice teamwork. Out comes the Flux.
Oh, that was a good play there by Kreia, knocking the Winston back into the Gravitic Flux. That was an incredible use of that rocket flow there from the Brigitte, and Chrono getting a couple of picks there off of the back of the Gravitic Flux. A good Gravitic Flux coming out from Mim. And one thing to note is that even if Kraken Skulls finish in overtime, then because the Fire Nation finished with over a minute, the Fire Nation will get a free attack, and if they can get 1 tick, they will win this map. The Riptide coming in through Blue Boxers. Oh, is immediately taken down by Shrew. That's a very, very important ultimate that is canceled there. Kua taking down Tifu though, but Shrew also taking down Petticoat Pirate. Both of these main supports going down, but Kreia has much less healing than Reignbow on the Moira versus the Brigitte, and that is a good fight win for Kraken Skulls.
Really nice, solid fight win, and they only won it off of 2 ultimates. That was the Nano and the Tire. They nanoed the Monkey to take out Tifu, and it looks like Kraken Skulls might be able to finish this map with time, considering the ultimate thing.
Absolutely, the High Noon's going to come up from Agathon, does not find anything, but just good to zone out. Meanwhile, the High Noon from Shrew is going to come out. He's going to find the pickoff on Kua, who's going to jump in at him with the ult, but he's going to find the pickoff. But Money Snaps Raiko, and he's going to find picks of their own Chrono finally pick up on the Petticoat Pirate, though. Very, very important. That's one support gone on the side of Kraken Skulls. And one support is very, very important. The Wrecking Ball here just spinning to win, stunned by the McCree there. And he's going to be thrown away by the Junkrat. And there's so much damage coming in on the side of the Kraken Skulls. Agathon trying to pick up on a handball. It's so important. Someone got trapped there from Blue Boxers. The Gravity Flux comes in, but is crucially stalled. But Chrono and Shrew both find the picks onto the opposite DPS. That is crucial. That's no more consistent damage coming in on the side of the Kraken Skulls, and they're going to have to run away, and they're going to have to try and touch very, very quickly. But the High Noon here is going to come out very crucially. Oh, but the sleep coming in on Shrew. The overtime is going to be stalled out, but Blue Boxers trying to pick up onto Shrew. And there's 2 picks for Kraken Skulls, but 2 picks. Mim finding 2 on this Sigma onto the Kraken Skulls, but Agathon finding 2 as well. It just seems like trade-off 2-1, and they're going to finish in overtime here, as I said. What is that, a caster bless, I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
But as I said, because Kraken Skulls only finished in overtime, and the Fire Nation finished with over a minute, the Fire Nation will get to attack for free, and if they get 1 tick, just 1 tick on point A, then they will take this map and they will go 2-1. However, if they do not take a tick, we will have a draw. Basically, what that means in Owlet is we treat it as a 0-0 and we go on to the next map. So it will be 2-0 again. So really, if you are the Fire Nation, you really need to get this win here if you want to have the momentum going into these next few maps.
Indeed. Man, these teams have been playing really, really tight note, but I will say True and Chrono have been playing out of their minds on the side of the Fire Nation. I will say that the tire that came out, I think it was from Blue Boxers, performed really well in turning that fight, and also Muddy Snaps getting that clutch pin kill onto the Fire Nation. So really close map, I will say, but Fire Nation's definitely come alive here on King's Row.
Absolutely, these role swaps have just allowed them to pop off a lot here. And we do see the Widowmaker coming out from Shrew. Very, very interesting, and Blue Boxers immediately finds the pick onto Shrew. That is crucial, just shutting down any momentum that they had coming back in here. They're going to go in anyway, even though they're down Shrew, and they're going to just have Blue Boxers taking pot shots. And oh, as I say that, Shrew does get revenge on the Blue Boxers, just peeking out from that top door of the Cathedral there, and just getting the headshots so quick. But both supports on the side of the Fire Nation are very, very low, and they both get taken down. Muddy Snaps, very crucial. Swinging of the hammer there, Raiko is going to go down though from Shrew, and just how close these spawns are for the Fire Nation is important here, because Kraken Skulls, very, very long spawns comparatively, but with how well they won that team fight, it may not matter.
Yeah, Shrew gets an early pick off there, but critically, Blue Boxers comes back onto the Tracer, and also Muddy Snap's able to just swing through and murder the supports that were kind of left abandoned as they brawled. Here we go, final attack here on King's Row.
Absolutely, we have the Nano coming in onto the Reinhardt, very crucial. Crucial pick, and Agathon finding 2 with the Dragon Strike. That is crucial here, and Muddy Snap finding 2 as well. Just such an amazing play there. And it's going to be the stall picks coming after the Fire Nation, trying in desperation to get just overtime picking in and trying to get that 1 pick that they so desperately need. Overtime is going to be triggered, but the picks are coming in for Kraken Skulls. Petticoat Pirate finding Tifu, Raiko finding Camwell, and there's just nothing that they can do to get this tick, and they're going to have the draw here on King's Row. 2-0 for the Kraken Skulls.
Yep, we get a map 4. I will say Kraken Skulls came in kind of clutch, especially considering they adapted their style and went double sniper. And in fact, they even put they put Blue Boxers onto the Widow instead of Agathon. And even though Agathon had been getting a lot of kills, and it actually turned out to be really important. And I feel like Kraken Skulls really adapted really well to that first attack and were able to hold a lot stronger. But man, Fire Nation, they're going to be kind of kicking themselves, but I do think those roles has made a difference, because they were playing a lot better with Mim on the off tank, Shrew on the DPS, and Kreia on that brig.
Yeah, absolutely. As we go into our next map here, which I'd have to remember which side gets to pick the map. I think it's Fire Nation who are going to pick
Yeah.
because Kraken Skulls had the first pick, so they will.
I believe Fire Nation has the pick because they lost the map before King's Row.
Mm,
And because of that, they had map pick for King's Row. Usually, it's whoever picks usually gets the choice to pick it again. So I do believe it'll be another Fire Nation map pick. But hey, we have a map 4, which is got to be an improvement. But they just need they're playing so good. But it's just these two teams are so close. If one team makes a mistake, the other one is really quick to capitalize on it.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
I will say though, Kua's playing this Winston really interestingly. Kua, usually you'd play a Sigma, but he's been playing this Winston actually pretty well. He changed his play style a little bit, was playing a little bit more chaotic, jumps into the backline on the initial fight, forces the enemy team to turn around, and it allowed the rest of the remaining players of Kraken Skulls to run over the rest of Fire Nation. That's kind of what happened on that defense. Kua jumps in, 3 people turn around, and then Muddy Snaps is able to get into the backline somehow and kill both supports. So I feel like this is going to be an interesting, and actually, as I'm speaking, the next map has been picked. It's going to be Hanamura here, which is kind of intriguing. Hanamura is a really strong double shield map, especially on defense. But I do know teams that like to run the dive and also dive on attack, and also the sim TP strategies on the attack, just to bypass the first point, because first point can be killer to any attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Symmetra strategies are so prevalent. Not very prevalent, but they're very much possible on 2CP maps, no matter what 2CP map you're on, really, on any assault map. You can be Hanamura, you could be on Volskaya Industries. All the names are escaping me right now.
There's a funky one on Toa, Temple of Anubis.
Yeah.
Actually, there's 2 others, but those 2 are currently not in the map pool. So, actually, I don't know what the map pool is, but those 2 are currently not in competitive, at least, and that's Horizon Paris. Anyways, but for Hanamura, I'm expecting to see. I see double barrier, Bat, Brig, Genji. That's huge. Not Gen. Yeah, no, not Genji. Ash those are like the most 5. Those are typically what are played, especially on the defense. And that final DPS can usually change if they're expecting a sim strategy. I've seen a lot of Junkrat actually on this first point, just because you can throw a mine as they TP, and it either destroys the TP and or gets a couple of picks. I've seen Genji is also extremely popular, and also Torbjorn. Again, I'm still praying for the Lord with the Hammer to make his appearance, but he has yet to do so. But overall, it's still a really tight series. I do think if Fire Nation can take this momentum that they got from King's Row and start to turn it into wins, I feel like we could have a really good series here, an even better series, because it has been a really good, really close series despite the scoreline.
Yeah, absolutely. We could 100% see a map 6 coming out here because of the draw. We could see a map 6 coming out. And I think that definitely possible with how the Fire Nation have been doing, with how these role swaps have done. What do you think that Kraken Skulls needs to do in order to sort of shut down the Fire Nation and sort of adapt to these changes?
The big thing the big thing is shutting down the DPS line of the Fire Nation. I feel like those 2, Shrew and Chrono, have really been forces of mayhem for the Kraken Skulls, and I feel like they have to play a lot more safer to make sure they're not picked off by Shrew and or Chrono. I'm gonna be interested to see if Fire Nation either reverts back to the original team strategy, or they stick with it and try to play double sniper again. Because double sniper could work. I can see a world where the Ash sits up on the high ground on defense, while the Hanzo stays low ground with the Orisa. So I feel like this has been really good. again, the Fire Nation's DPS line has kind of just been melting Kraken Skulls, and I feel like Kraken Skulls just needs to find a way to shut them down. Agathon's been doing really well at semi-countering them, but it's been kind of close. It's been closer with Blue Boxers and the other two, so we'll have to see if the DPS line can counteract them. Also, I do think Raiko needs to play a little bit more passively. I'm not saying that she is the weakness at all. She's been playing consistently, but I feel like she gets picked off a lot pretty early into these fights and has been causing them to have to either pull back, soft reset, or just an overall loss.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get into Hanamura, I'm very interested to see what the Fire Nation is going to do on attack, and specifically, I think I might have been wrong. I think that it's possible that Kraken Skulls might be on the attack here. I'm not exactly positive.
No. Kraken Skulls is on defense. They are the defending team because they're in blue. But we might be seeing a Sim Mei defense. I've actually not seen Sim and Mei play on the defense. Usually you run Sim Mei teleporting, so you can go straight to the point, you wall off people from point. But it's really interesting if they stick with this Sim. I think they are, yeah, they will be. They have a TP over left-hand side, which is actually going to help with the spawn disadvantage that the defenders have, especially on Hanamura. And actually, I like this decision. And considering what the other team's about to run, which is going to be a brawl comp with the Sim, it's going to be interesting to see how the dueling Sim strategies come to work out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to see, because the Sim Mei comp has just so many interesting things that it can do with walling the Sim up, allowing her to teleport to new places that she couldn't on the ground. But I'm interested to see what they do. So coming in here with the Sim Mei strat, the Mei wall does come up on the side of Kraken Skulls. They're going to be going into this choke, but oh, the charge comes in from Kua, takes down Chrono immediately before they're even able to get the teleporter up. That is brutal on the side of Kraken Skulls. It's very unfortunate for the Fire Nation here. Yeah. Just a team kill immediately.
Yeah. Beautiful play by Kraken Skulls. They, especially with the Symmetra being the primary source of damage in this composition, by them closing the distance, it allowed them to A, shut down the opposing Symmetra, and also allows the Symmetra to just melt, burn up damage, melt the enemy shield, which is currently only a Reinhardt. And it was a really beautiful play by Kraken Skulls, just to crowd the choke, and also the Mei, the wall off the Sim from being able to put down the TP initially, just bought them enough time for the damage to come through. And nice, well, good counter. Oh, but TP over up into the window by Kraken, but they get walled off.
They get walled off. Some of the Zarya is going to be held off. But again, the picks come in. Oh, but the shatter. Hamwell decides to shatter, but gets taken out before he can finish the animation, and it will result in him losing that shatter completely. That is a crucial ultimate to lose so late into that fight.
Yeah, really bad. So there was 2 walls there that really cost Kraken Skulls, not Kraken Skulls, the Fire Nation that push. Because first there was a Mei wall that cut off most of the members of Kraken Skulls from being able to TP, and then afterwards, Fire Nation walled off their own Symmetra from being able to get onto the point, so it kind of shut them down. But now, quick switch onto a semi-poke comp here, because the Symmetra is just not working for them.
Yeah, it's very interesting here. Kreia playing both the Pharah and the Mercy throughout this match. Very interesting. And oh, Kua getting the charge in onto Ram, onto Hamwell, and the shatter coming in onto Mim, going to take him down as well. But Kua gets taken out from behind by Chrono on that Pharah. Very nice stagger there at the end of that fight.
Yeah, really interesting use of the shatter there by Kua. He went into the back line to get the Zarya, but considering how close the spot is, I don't know if that's going to matter. The Reinhardt is not going to get back here, I think, in time for this fight. So currently it's a 5v6 on point.
There is the teleporter though, however.
Yeah, teleporter will close that up and he will get here.
He will get back just in time. Oh, that's such a clutch Symmetra wall from Agathon, going to block out Chrono's barrage. and make it almost completely useless. Another good fight win for Kraken Skulls. They are putting on a good showing here, and it's going to be very, very tough on the side of the Fire Nation if you're going to want to even get to point B and give yourself even a chance of winning this map.
Yeah, really badly timed barrage there. They used Blizzard, no, the Blizzard came out, but then as he barraged, the sim wall was already up and that sim wall came out, so I'm not 100% sure why he decided to barrage. Actually, it was pretty close, so never mind. But, yeah, no, Kraken was playing on a show that there is a blade and a bout coming out here on the side of Fire Nation. Maybe he'll be able to turn it around.
Absolutely.
And a quick pick off of Petticoat Pirate.
Good pick onto Petticoat. That's a big source of the damage coming down. The Shatter comes in, doesn't find anything on the side from Hamwell there, but Kuit will have his Shatter as well. But the Shatter comes in, doesn't seem to find anything. Chrono's barrage will find Many Snap, but Kreia on this Mercy is going to get taken down. It's going to be a very scrappy fight on the point, but there are picks coming in on the side of the Kraken Skulls, but there are just so few people on the point for them, and it's going to be so close. These close spawns, these doll picks, the Wrecking Ball, the Tracer, just coming in order to try and take any sort of semblance of point presence, and they do not, and that is a full hold for for Kraken Skulls, and the Fire Nation need to full hold in response.
Yeah, really good play by, I believe it was Blue Boxers on the May, I believe, and she was able to freeze the Rhine just before he was able to swing through the grav that had come out, and that completely shut down the damage, and that's where Kraken Skulls really started to turn the fight, I think. And beautiful play as well, having that set strategy and having that niche strategy, and they played that to perfection, playing more as a tight unit, as a 6-stack, instead of trying to come in as from different angles as what Fire Nation was able to do, because they were able to focus down one damage angle and completely obliterate them before they could really do anything. So just beautiful all-around play there from Kraken Skulls, and man, this is looking grim for Fire Nation.
It absolutely is. On the side of Fire Nation, you have to be basically perfect. The Sim TP going in an interesting direction comparatively. Hamwell is going to do a little bit of a flashy Rhine charge to get over the Hanamura gap, and tanks will go through it, but the Sim Teleporter is actually in their second point by the spawn. It's not over by the ledge like we saw.
Yeah, and the big problem is the May has not gotten there yet. It's going to be tight.
Oh no!
For her to actually get there in time. Especially because it'll be close. No, she'll be here. But
she will get there, but it is very, very close there. The Maywall is going to come in, but they do teleport instantly to point. It's going to be such a melee on point. Muddy Snap, he's going to go down, but Agathon and Reiko are both going to get the picks there. On the side of Kraken Skulls, there's so many picks coming through. I don't even know if they're going to get much more of this map here. Blue Box is finding 2 picks, and that is going to be it. Kraken Skulls taking it 3-0 over the Fire Nation.
Yeah, Agathon was just really good on that Symmetra, was able to melt down a lot of damage. That TP, even though it almost got walled off, they were able to just barely get it in. I do think also that May being a little bit late did have a lot of time to set up to prevent them from being able to TP. Kind of weaken the Fire Nation's approach, but really beautiful play by Kraken Skulls. Agathon was really good. Petticoat Pirate was consistent the entire series, was also able to pop off, and also Kua, but they were able to play that strategy beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely throughout this. So I think that we should probably pick some sort of player of the match for this match, and personally, I just have to go with Agathon.
Yep.
With how flexible he was throughout this entire match. Just incredible for so many heroes. I can't even list them all in my head. I lose track with just how many heroes he was able to get value out of as well. It wasn't just, oh, he played 10 heroes, all of them were bad, or like 1 or 2 of them were good. All of them were solid, and all of them really put much pressure onto Fire Nation.
Yeah, Agathon played a really good played good Widow, Sombra, Bree. And then like he pulled out the Symmetra on Hanamura for the entire map and actually did really, really well. I don't know if the stream saw this, but he got 76% kill participation. And that is kind of insane if you think about it, especially for a Symmetra on Hanamura of all maps.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, we should be dragging in here at any time at some point. Yeah, we will give us a moment. We're going to try to drag Agathon in here just for a quick player interview.
Take a little break, and when we come back, we will have an interview with our player of the match, Agathon. I'm very excited to pick his brain and see what he thought about that match. We will see you then.
I look at people and I wonder all day, who are you and you are not the one in your way. And then I think about myself and I stayed. I'm a pretty boss, look on my shit brain waste. I'm a freak in the sheets, but I got class. I'ma grab an ass if you want it. Best you ever had, give it to you mad. Ooh.
And we are back here with our player of the match, Agathon from the Kraken Skulls. Thank you for coming on, Agathon.
Thanks for having me.
So to start off, one of the big changes that we saw from Fire Nation right before the half was they actually switched up some of their players into different roles. So I bet that did catch you off guard a little bit. So how did you as a team, how did Kraken Skulls work to sort of adapt to it and sort of basically on the fly look at these new players playing new heroes?
Actually, honestly, the thing that threw us off more was their original lineup, because we watched the Hyperion game, and Shrew, just like he was in this game, was amazing in the Hyperion game, and so we were like planning around having to deal with Shrew as DPS, and then they weren't DPS, so then when they shifted to DPS, we were like, okay, we know what's happening now.
Yeah.
But like they did really well, and Chrono was also really good. I started out not giving them enough respect, and by the end I had to give them a lot of respect because they were able to pick me off quite a few times.
Yeah. Really, also, I'd like to compliment you real quick on your beautiful. That was a really nicely played niche strategy there on Hanamura A. Really good play there with the Mei Sombra comp. Is that just a common comp you guys like to run, or is that just some comfort picks? Because you guys played that really well.
What's a sim, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I
okay.
say Sombra? Did I say Sombra? I think I just said Sombra. But no, the Symmetra Mei comp.
It's okay. My teams hate me because I call out the wrong character all the time, and I think I called out something, and it turned out to be a different character's name, and I'm like, oh. Actually, on King's Row, I called out that I was going to Deadeye when I hit my dragons because I was playing Hanzo. Anyways, yeah, that's actually a strat that we've run a lot, and just kind of the TP to point strat. And if you only have to get one tick, like it's there's not a whole lot of loss to just try it off the bat. And we've had several different teams try it. So like at the end, our coach was like, dude, you guys didn't talk about anything other than you said Sombra TP. And we're like, we know, we run this too much. We don't need to talk about it. Everyone knows what the strat is.
Yeah. I also liked how you guys played it on defense, where you crowded the choke and prevented the enemy Sombra from being able to TP. So that was really well played.
Yeah, that's The strat. Oh, we have scrimmed against it as well and have done kind of poorly. So that's one of the ways we've been trying to deal with it, is to just not even let them set it up. Just push out so that they can't TP in the first place.
Yeah, that is an
Okay.
amazing strategy. So what are you sort of looking forward into beyond the preseason into the regular season? What are you looking forward to or a little bit nervous about?
I'm looking forward to playing with this team more. So Kraken Skulls has been around for a while, but there's been various members coming in and out. And the last time we did GG&A, we actually had so many people that we split into 3 different teams. And
Yeah.
so like this team is kind of people that were on each team, and we're now kind of coming back together. And we were like, okay, we overstretched ourselves trying to make 3 teams happen. We're just gonna focus on one team and kind of bring those people together. And it's just been so much fun playing with all the same people again, and getting that momentum back. Like our first couple scrims were kind of rough, but we finally started clicking and getting on the same page with callouts and knowing what each other are doing now, and it's just really nice, and I'm excited to just play with these people again.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Do you have anyone that you want to shout out?
I'd say definitely shout out to Kronos and True. Like they were doing extremely well. Definitely giving me a run, me and Blue Boxers a run for our money. And they fought really hard, regardless of what role they were on. They were, they were clearly in it to win it, and they played really fantastically.
I don't have anything else, so